remember to download both the Barn Burner and ZINGOTV apps in their respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure you rate and leave a comment. Both apps are free. ZINGOTV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Fire TV sticks, Roku and Roku sticks, and also available on all smart TVs 2016 and forward. And tonight I have singer-songwriter and winner of Britain's Got Talent, and they say she is the answer, the female answer to the Bears Ham, and that is some shoes to fill, and she can fill them, that's for sure. My girl, Raphaelia, is here.
How are you, girl? I'm very good, Tanya, and thank you, big up Teresa. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm really super excited to catch up with you. This is the first time us actually like speaking face to face, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And now, just before we go on, now that you said big up Teresa, I have to big up Teresa, my producer, who's always in the background here, bringing me on time and getting me out of here on time. And unfortunately, for me, it's a sad day because we got to say goodbye to Teresa. It's her last day, and I'm so blessed and honored. I thank you, girl, for staying on to finish my show on this Sunday. And you've worked really hard, and we appreciate you, and we're going to miss you, girls. And I wish you all the best on all your ventures. And I know all your dreams will come true. So Teresa, Barn Burner and her network, we're really going to miss you. And Raphaelia, yeah, it's first time we're meeting.
Yeah.
And I've been supporting, I got years ago, and I never forgot this. I've been doing radio for 10 years. And you were one of those artists in the beginning years. I met you through Daddy English. He linked me up, and I was like, who is this girl, Raphaelia? Wow, oh my gosh. He introduced me to your music, and you were one of those few batches that I got drops from right away. So I've always supported your music. We lost a little touch, and I thought, what's Raphaelia doing? I haven't heard anything. But it turns out you haven't been relaxing. You've still been doing your thing. I just didn't get emails.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, things have shifted so much since then. Like, I think when we first got in contact, wouldn't have been not long after I had moved to the UK, because Boston is originally my home. So at the time when I moved to the UK, and I'd basically just opened a door that I felt like was open in a way, only because I used to buy mixtapes. I used to go all the way to Atlanta to buy my mixtapes, and most of the stuff was Stingray. It was Stingray mixtapes that I used to listen to. So yeah, I think you would have gotten like the first bits and pieces of me early out, small voice, very small voice, very young. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you've been doing it a long time. And it's funny you say Atlanta, because that's where the home station is, to flavorradio.com. And you've been a big part of that station from day one. And we got your back on supporting your music. But I want to talk about your journey at younger years of Raphaelia, how the music came about.
Oh, so for me, all right. So from about age 3, I used to play piano, which was great. But the teacher that I had used to beat my fingers. But however, yeah, she was old school. She was old school. It's a small woman. Her name was Miss Gardner. And bless her soul, I don't feel any way about her beating my fingers. I realized she was old school. You know what I mean? Because as much as she was old school, every time piano lessons started, she would always start with voice, with ear training. And it was the ear training that I think kept me singing. I played piano for 7 years. I never got great. I'm no Alicia Keys by any means. But when it comes to pitch and my ear and how I hear things, like I have to hear them right. Like I can't use this voice correct or anything. Like if I'm in there and I'm recording and I get it wrong, I'm angry about it. So I'm super blessed for Miss Gardner and her style and her old ways, because even though I couldn't play the piano, at least I got singing out of it. And I think my first sort of, it was through school, being shy, teachers pushing you to sing and stuff like that here and there. And then when I finally figured out that, wait, my dad's Jamaican, like we we listened, you know, I was listening to all sorts, don't get me wrong. I was listening to ska, I listened to a lot of 50s music, you know, the Beatles, stuff like that. I listened to a lot of old school music,
Yeah.
the old school R&B, soul, everything, growing up. But I hadn't connected my heritage with music until I figured out, you know, I figured out, hey, my dad's Jamaican, and you know, we've got all these things. He used to make me play carnival every year. So
Yeah.
I know your family's big in carnival there as well. And
Yeah.
I think that just sort of, it just kickstarted everything. So I used to hang out when I finally got a chance to travel through Boston on my own without anybody. Oh, take your sister with you and stuff like that. I would go and I would hang out at Junior Rodigan's record shop.
Okay.
And that was me done. I mean, the closest mixed, you know, the hottest mixtapes, soul, the sound tapes, the sound systems, all of that. I was into all of that. And it was quite nice because he was the producer at the time that was recording, like he was recording people, actively recording, as well as you know, promoting shows and everything in Boston. So he would be my first experience in recording,
Yeah.
recording quality reggae music. And I say quality in the sense that it was something that children could listen to. Like, you know, my mom was one of those people, rest her soul. She was one of those people that would call a record shop and ask Junior Rodigan if I was still there. Like, is that
Yeah.
child still there? Because she thinks I've gone off somewhere else, or I'm not where I said I was gonna be, you know, that sort
Yeah.
of way. So yeah, it's really, really awesome.
It's funny you
Him,
say Junior Radigan because him and I talk, well, we're both on Flavor 105, the
yeah,
show streamed out there as well. But him and I get in some serious talk sometimes about the business and FEMA
yes,
artists. He introduces me to a lot of FEMA artists I haven't heard of.
yes,
So big up Junior Radigan. He knows his
yes,
stuff.
every time.
Big respect.
Big time. Big time. And this is the thing, that's what I quite loved about it, is that, you know, he was like he was the big brother I didn't have. That was where I spent a lot of my time. He coordinated my first dub plate, my first hip hop dub plate for one of the DJs in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And because of his knowledge, like over the years, he just, you know, he was always been a big supporter. And I do consider him like a lifetime mentor. Whenever I go back to Boston, if I run into Junior, it's good. Do you know what I mean? So
Yes.
I just appreciate him so much for um being that person, being that mentor, you know, taking me to the studio, telling my mom, look, I don't worry, she's fine. I
She
got
say,
her. Yeah, yeah, we headed to do some music, and it's brilliant. I really do appreciate that time in my life.
so then when did you leave Boston to go to, before I leave Boston, I got to big up another friend of yours, and he's a good friend of mine, Fada P.
Oh,
Fada P.
Father
Can't leave out
P.
Fada P.
Yes, can't leave out Father P. Yeah. You know what?
Oh,
Father P would have been one of those people that that saw me at the time when all right, so basically when I was in Boston, before I was like old enough to really be in the clubs, I was actually in there, and I was opening shows for I opened shows for Wayne Wonder, Frisco Kid.
yeah.
I was on talent shows with like Determine and all sorts. So I was in the club before I was supposed to be. And Father P would have been one of those people that would have seen me in the club before I was supposed to be. So Father P,
You'd be like, I'm telling on you. I'm telling on
you know
you.
what I'm saying? You know, I probably got the cuts to prove it, you know, because them used to fling buckle in a dance, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
yes,
how old were you when you did your first recording in Boston?
yep, in Boston at 15 years old. And the first
Oh, you
recording
started
was
the same time as me, 15.
yeah. See that? So yeah, it was a cover tune of Brandy's Broken Hearted. You know, Brandy and
Oh,
Wanya Morrison, that tune. We did a cover of it. Me and another singer named Ross Batch, who is actually from, I believe he's from St. Vincent. I might have that wrong, but
yeah.
don't kill me if you're listening, Ross Batch. I might have that wrong, but it's been a lot. No,
Yeah.
it's the Virgin
He's
Islands.
from one
Sorry.
of the islands, though.
Yes, he's from the Virgin Islands. Yeah, I won't forget that. Sorry. I'm
No, I
old.
said he's from one of those islands. I don't know which
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
that was
I
my
guess
first
I
recording
don't
ever.
know some of your early stuff. That's why I'm curious about what I missed.
Yeah. Well, when Junior Rodigan was running his record shop, he also had Mastermind, the record label, and he had released a Mission Impossible written with a couple of different artists on them. Specialist. I don't know. I'd be going way back. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I know
I'm
it's
digging
hard. It's
here.
okay. You can go way back. I don't mind. But okay, so that was your first recording. When did you decide to leave Boston and go to England?
Okay, so there's a couple of trips in between there. So I left Boston and I moved to Alabama. And at the time I moved to Alabama, it was sort of helping my mom leave Boston because she basically left Alabama to raise us. Met my dad in Boston, and here I come. And so when her mother died, she returned home to look after her father, which was in Alabama. So I had that trip in between. And then when I was in Alabama, that's when I connected with Daddy English, who at the time was on a radio station in Alabama, which is the only reggae I pretty much knew. Cause I left the city thinking, all right, it's going to be really tough because I'm not country by a mile. Like there's nothing country about me. So Alabama and me, I don't know how we're going to manage. So so I went on to a website that actually a friend of mine, when I was living in Boston, she made this website called the Dance Hall Web or something, dancehall.com or something like that. And what she was doing, she was hosting all these DJs from all over the States. And I thought, what a great idea. So I thought, punch in Alabama, look for a dance. I want to hear some reggae music. I can't be in Alabama and I can't hear reggae music, So that's where I met Daddy English. And that's history. Daddy English returns to Britain. I'm like, I want to go to Britain. So 2006, I end up in Britain. Meanwhile, before that, I should say, my dad used to live in Britain. My dad lived in Preston in years ago in Lancashire. So when my dad was here, he brought all his brothers here and everything. So I've got cousins. I've got loads of family in Manchester. So when I graduated from school, my dad sent me here to meet family. At the time when I came here to meet family, that's it's the same year Stingray was starting their record label.
Okay.
Yeah, so Prince Hammer, who's part of the Rockers movie and a big roots artist, was at a family party, was linked with a cousin of mine. So my cousin linked me with Prince Hammer. Prince Hammer takes me to Stingray. And at the time, I met so many people when I was in Britain. By the by, let's fast forward back to 2006. I end up in Britain and I had not done music. I didn't do any music in Alabama. I was there for about 2 years and I just felt lost.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I wanted to stop. I just couldn't figure this place out. I mean, again, I'm so city, all these Caribbean people around me, my dad around me, all my peeps, all this life. And then I moved to Alabama and all that's kaput.
Yeah, gone.
So coming back to Britain, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm in Britain now. What do I do? So, it's been a crazy journey. So again, I'll reverse. When I was in Boston and hanging out at Junior Rodigan's record shop again, a representative from Heartbeat Records at the time called Joshua B was promoting Alpheus. And Alpheus was doing, I think, the Quality Time album on the Studio One label, and Heartbeat was sort of pushing that. He asked me to do some background vocals for him then when I was 19 years old. I did those background vocals with another woman named Sonia Allen, who was another singer in Boston. When I got back to Britain, I just linked everybody that I had met before. Hey, Dilly. Hi, I'm Raphaelia. Obviously, you don't remember me. It's like 1999. Why the hell would you? But you know what I mean? I just thought, reach out. You really want to do music. You haven't been for a long time. Do something about it. And
So you basically pushed yourself. You didn't have any management?
Nope.
Good for you. Good for you.
No management whatsoever. And at the time when it was being offered, the person wasn't right in front of me, and I felt like it was the wrong timing because you know, you don't know who you're dealing with. You really don't. And
Yeah.
then, and unless, you know, you can really meet with that person at a time when your life is doing that. I just had a baby, like all this stuff. I was pregnant, actually, traveling back and forth to Stingray.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No, 2010. So I had the baby by then. 2009, 2010. Yeah, so when all it kicked off, 2009, 2010. Yeah. I ain't
What
looked
are
back
some
ever since.
What are some of the songs that you did with Stingray?
Oh, first one,
Did you do Bunny Lee? That Bunny Lee on
I
that
did
label?
do it, Bunny Lila, yes, on
Bunny
Send It to
Lila,
Be,
sorry.
on Send It to Be's record label as well.
Yeah.
Blessed Be, yeah, Blessed Be Music. Yeah, I've first single on Stingray was Runaway.
Okay.
Oh, here I go again. Yeah.
I love your voice.
Yeah, oh, bigger things. Yeah, is Runaway. And then the next one was Living My Life. I remember writing that. And then there was the Laba Laba Rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Laba Laba Rhythm was actually the first song I recorded for them. And it was a massive, no, that would be the third song I recorded for them. But it was a massive day for me. And it was a massive day because on that particular day, I met Claire Angel. And it was special because here it is, another Black woman in Britain, amazing voice. And we sort of known about one another, but we had finally got to, you know, to meet another person who's in this same field as me, not far from the same age, and doing her thing. And yeah, I'm truly appreciative of just that meeting alone. It's just, there's so many special times, but I'd say
Yeah.
that that's a major special time for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm so far from home, had no idea I would be able to I don't know. I like the name, the Reggae Fraternity. We got this thing called the Reggae Fraternity here, where, you know,
Yeah.
you know, they just big up all the artists that are in the business. And I just feel super special for being able to come and become a part of that, you know, and a part of that history. Like, it means a lot.
What at that time, was there a lot of females in that time around, or of course
You
we're
know
always
what?
outnumbered by the men, but
Yeah. You know what? Come to find out, there were loads of females around. We've, you know, what I've come to learn so much about Britain and their reggae history and the Lovers Rock movement. So in the Lovers Rock movement, there are so many women, and because the men are always even outnumbered, even in the plane and on the radio.
yeah.
One would think there isn't a lot of women,
Yes, yes.
but they are here. They are here in full force. Carol Thompson, Janet Kay, Sylvia Teller, Lady Lex, Susan Cadogan. You like, there's so many you can name, and that's what makes this so special. Like, yo, the history here is deep. Like,
Yeah.
I feel honored, honored big time.
I always like the reggae that's coming out of England. I just like the vibe. I mean, Jamaica's Jamaica, but something about the lovers rock that comes out of England is just smooth. I've
That's it.
always loved it.
That's
Janet
it.
Kay, I met her in the 90s because I got to perform at Jackie Matu tribute at Brixton.
What?
And I got to perform and she was there and I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Trust
Oh my
me,
gosh.
tons of people and it was a big honor, but something about her, I was like, just wow, you know. Because you know,
Absolutely.
being younger at that age, when you see them, there's ones we look up to, right? And she was one
That's
of them.
right. That's right. I
Yeah,
mean, when you see her, you're literally like, you want to bow. You just want to
yeah,
bow.
it's
Like,
like,
you don't even
yeah,
want to say hello first. You just want to be like, sister,
yes, ma'am.
thank you. Yes, yes.
Exactly.
Amen, sister. Hallelujah.
The song,
Hallelujah.
the song too that she did that I absolutely love, and Jackie Matu did that production as "You Bring the Sun Out." That is
Oh,
fire.
oh
It's one of my
gosh. Oh my
favorite,
gosh.
favorite.
I have too many favorites. I have
Oh
too many
yeah,
favorites of hers. But
I know.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Who would you
Sorry.
say I know they said you're the answer to Barris Hammond, but how would you describe your music? It's reggae and R&B, but who would you say that you're similar to if you were to like you're Raphaelia, because I hear in your voice, you don't sound like anybody to me. You don't sound like anybody, which is a good thing. But
Thank you.
who
I
do
think
you
so
say
too.
you're compared to, or people would compare you to?
I don't know. I've heard so many different ones. So I've heard Mary J. Blige. I've heard Alicia Keys in terms of vocally.
Yeah.
In terms of the music and the music I put out, I haven't heard of any names in that respect, but I think I've always heard vocally, like they've compared me to Alicia Keys, but I think they're listening to my accent probably.
Yeah, you sound like her.
Yeah,
I
because
like how
I
you go
don't.
into Boston and then you sound like you're from the UK. You go in and out.
Yes, yes. So I'm like, nah, not her, not her.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we got
God.
Kingsley in the house from Barleyfield. He's laughing at me because he knows exactly what you're saying.
Big
Yeah.
up Kingsley. We're gonna get to you about Kingsley, but we gotta go on the way. We're getting to you, King.
Yeah,
Getting to you.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
So
So if
it's
you
good.
find working with Stingray, would you say that put you on the map and made you more like, people knew you more working with Stingray? Do you think that gave you a big push?
I really do feel like that, and I got to give big respect to Stingray because not only did it give me a push and provide some, what it did is it provided steady releases while I was doing my background vocal work. So it's sort of like I'm still an artist
Yeah.
and still building that sort of the written tracks and having music coming out, and at the same time I'm traveling and doing background vocal work. So I feel like, old school putting in my time, like earning my stripes, like so many other singers before us. You can name them, Itana, so many others. So many
Yes.
others. We've done this where we have to put in our sort of work. So
The background,
Stingray
vocals,
is
you mean? That's what,
yeah,
not to cut you, but that's what I say on my show all the time, on the radio show, bringing you the artists that need to be heard and should get the respect they deserve. Nothing but the wickedest vocalists out there. And so many artists I play, there's so many artists that are background vocals that record lead vocals and put their songs
yes,
out, and they don't get the attention because people just don't know the name because they get stuck singing behind. So anytime I get that material of them releasing like their own solo stuff, I go, they're an artist in their own right. They're
yes,
so good. Listen to this. And this is who they sing background for. There's
yes,
so many out there that are like,
yes,
and I always say that when I go to the studio and I had people work with me and I'm like,
yes,
why are you not singing lead? Like, I go, shoot, you sound better than me. You should be on your sing. Some of the
oh,
background singers sound better than the leads.
absolutely, absolutely. And I actually I have that same situation because I have a singer named Shalina, who I'm telling you, if you see Shalina, you'd be like, if
Oh,
you
oh, oh.
just to hear her, it's like, oh shoot,
Can
but
I
I
cut
won't be
you?
without her.
I watched the video and I saw
Yes,
you give her the solo and I was like, hello. Yes, yes, hello. She's fire.
she's fire. And this is the thing, like I believe so. I'm just like you. I believe so much in the people that are surrounding us, isn't it? Because musically, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be where we are if we couldn't call on those vocals or call on their musicianship to complete our project. So it,
Yes.
in my mind, it was super important to give what I know someone is giving me. Alpheus is giving me that opportunity to be able to step forward, even on his shows, to shine, show people what you
Yes.
got. And that's really what it is. It's that mentorship and that support and that love for the music and that showing, just acknowledging the people around you that you work with in their efforts and their talent and their true skill.
Yeah, because that's what I loved when I watched that you give them solo. Some people don't do that. They don't want to give them that spotlight, which is a great thing. It's like we know when you have that behind you, what it brings out of you. It's like
That's it.
heaven. They're
That's
heaven.
it.
They put
That's
the
right.
fire in you.
That's
So
right.
that's great. I just loved when you did that part. I,
Thank
I
you.
just so fully enjoyed that. Another
Thank you.
one, Mellow Vibes. I
Yeah.
know you spoke a little bit about them, but did they do as much work with you as Stingray?
Well, actually, we've got a lot of work done with Mellow Vibes. So I got to first and foremost big up Murray Man. Murray Man also is a roots artist and runs a record label, and a lot of the releases with Mellow Vibes are vinyl releases. What I loved about working with Mellow Vibes, and we will still work. I've got some things with him that I'd love to that we'll get to. We got to put out. So yeah, we still got some work to be done there. I really appreciate Mellow Vibes, because what Mellow Vibes did was, because he's an artist already, and we've sort of trotted the same places, because France, Europe, those people, he's got a lot of great links there in the dub, in the dub sector, and he's been in music a long time, likewise his dad. So I really loved working with Murray Man, because it just showed me another side of things, and again, give me another opportunity, tied in a lot of the links that we both shared, because traveling through Europe with Alpheus, people sort of, they were like, oh, that's Raphelia. And it's sort of like, now she's Lovers Rock. Ooh, she's Roots.
Yeah.
Lovers Rock Roots. Lovers Rock Roots. And
No,
because
but we
there's a massive...
call that, what I like about that is you're not in one thing. You're versatile.
That's
You're
it.
showing them you're versatile. It's not just one genre, even though people say reggae. There's a lot of genres in reggae.
A lot of genre within reggae. And you don't ever want to be put in a box, do you?
No.
Although that's a lot of how people get chosen for shows and things like that. So it's a teacher, and at the same time, it's, it's a blessing, because it's about the music. So so I big respect to Mellow Vibes and Murray Man. Big respect, because we having family still, yeah, man.
Yeah, and then you also had a lot worldwide, dropping dubs worldwide. Your voice is heard all over. Like, you really did a lot of dub plates and stuff like that. Sounds Just Loving You, with some big sounds out there.
Oh my gosh! So give thanks to Foundation Sound and a lot of all the other sounds that have played me. And yeah, I thought it was it. You know what? Around the time when this dub plate, well, the first time the dub plate sort of made it to a massive sound clash. That was a wild thing. It was a wild thing.
Remember what song it was? You remember what song it was? Or no? You got too many.
I got too many.
It's hard to remember.
So one of them was I did a cover of Prophecy. So I did a cover of Prophecy. Yeah. And I called it Symmetry. It was called Symmetry. And Foundation, that was one of the first dubs that played, and that's 2017 in the Sound Clash. And at the time I was doing Britain's Got Reggae. I was doing that competition at the same time.
Yeah.
So all this stuff is kicking off. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I gotta talk about that. I'm definitely gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
So oh, that's funny. That's jokes. Yeah, it's jokes in a sense, because I'll talk about that. So so the dub plates, I always thought dub plates were like a stressful thing. Honestly, like at first, initially, I looked at it as stressful, and I only looked at it as stressful because I was a person who listened to Sound Clash, and what I heard was, when you think you got Stone Love just gets dubs, don't they? Stone Love would just get a dub, and the dub is up the tune, back to back. You get a little Stone Love here and there, boom.
Yeah,
there's your dub plate. So I was thinking, oh, it's just that easy, but it's not, because now you're writing the song. It's not you listening to somebody else dub plate. I feel song this now, so so I'm like, oh, Ross. So I found it really, really stressful. And then when I finally heard that dub plate playing a dance, like when he just contacted me, it was like, nah, this is what I want you to do. And I was like, serious? You sure? Huh. I was really super excited, but there were two others before that. One of the dubs I did, You're Going Down. I did Mary J. Blige. You're going down. Yeah, played that. Did that dub for Daddy English won the Clash. Then there was another Clash before that, and it was a big dub. Oh gosh. It was Adele. The one she does for 007, the one she does for the James Bond movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that dub. And I think that during that time, that's when dub just clicked.
Yeah.
Dub clicked for me. And it clicked for me in a sense that, why are you making it so hard on yourself? Like, this is, have fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was no longer the Lovers Rock box that I needed to stay in. It was no longer the Roots box that I had to stay in. This is dub. Do what you do, you know, and enjoy it. And so, yeah, so I do actually feel very different about dub than I did then, because I hated doing dub plates. I did. I absolutely hated it. But I realize now that, I mean, you learn so much out of the dub business. You learn about who the sounds are playing you.
Yeah.
What songs they like the most, how they like their dubs cut, why you learn how to identify a decent dub. Because that's one thing when you're listening to dubs, don't you? You listen to dubs now and you go, all right, that's good. You know, you hear some of the bigger artists do dubs and you're like, come on, you're a big artist. Why you do the dub like that? You know, so it does make you, do you know what I mean? It makes you think, but at the same time, the pressure's off.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So you're going, I'm not going on too bad. Me, I go on with that thing.
Yeah, me, I try a thing, you know?
Oh my gosh. You before we forget, talk about the competition.
Oh, Britain's Got Reggae. So big up to Serlene, big up to Britain's Got Reggae. First year Serlene Brathwaite, she ran Britain's Got Reggae in London, and I didn't get to see all the heats, but Claire Angel was the winner for 2016. Now I spoke about Claire Angel. Claire Angel was somebody that, you know, we're in the same league, we're same age, we do our music, we do our thing. And I was lucky enough to watch her win it and watch her perform at Rotterdam the year before. The same year, 2017, that she performed at Rotterdam, I was on the dub corner because I knew people there. It was a place I'd been before. I wanted to bring my family and everything. And I thought, what great way. Let's be at Rotterdam in Spain. The 7-day reggae festival. Everybody's going to be there. Dub everything, dance hall, you name it. Everything's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm on a dub corner and I'm holding a mic in dub corner. We touched the mic in dub corner that year. And then I get back and it's time to start auditioning. And I mean, not auditioning, we were finishing up. When I came back was the final. All throughout, let me tell you, all throughout this competition, because it took place in London and I'm living in Gloucester, which, mind you, people, for those that don't know, where I live in Gloucester is like, I don't know, 2.5 hours from London. So I'm outside of the city, and London is heavily, when I say heavily populated with artists and people and ends, it coming like New York, like the 5 boroughs, like that. Like there's artists from London end. So in my mind, even though I know it's, you know, it was open to the country, I know it was an open competition. In my mind, I'm like, you can't get past London. Don't bother try. You can't get past London.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm saying this to myself, and yet Stingray's been releasing tunes for me, which means that tune I play all about London with Raphelia's name on it. So I'm telling myself one thing and forgetting the other bit.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to win still. I did not think I was going to win. Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
So throughout the competition, I'm thinking, right, strategize. Reggae is what you love. Strategize. You know the ends, you know the corners, you know which ways you can go. You know, I thought roots, all right, what do I do this? You know, first heat, I'm like, right. Noticeable tune. So I made sure to sing a release because I thought noticeable tune.
Yeah.
And I think it was in the first heat that it actually clicked. Like, yo, this is that chick who's been playing, you know,
Then
because
they
they
put,
don't see
yeah, they
me
put a face with the song because
with the
that's how they,
song.
yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, this is good. Then the second one, I thought, okay, unreleased, go unreleased, unreleased, release, and rhythm. If reggae competition, rhythm, right?
Yeah.
Always, I think most of them, well, I usually had one cover, but most of the music was all original.
Mhm.
So that was my mind. My mind was go with rhythm, rhythm. Don't forget the rhythm. Then in the last one, I thought tune, selection of tune, and um and message. I
Yes.
thought that was super important. So at the last heat now, when we're going through it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I made it this far. And they're like, oh, you're gonna win it, you're gonna win it. I'm like, shut up, don't jinx me. This is London. Don't forget this is London. I'm like, shut up. Yeah, because I didn't want to hear it at that rate. I was like, I just didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to be
Yeah.
way up here. And
Yeah.
I was trying to remain realistic. End up winning and end up playing London Carnival, performing at London Carnival. And that to me is like, okay, when you look at big, you're always trying to like, is this a big deal? Is this a big
Yeah.
deal? Is this a big
Yeah.
deal? Is this a big deal? And then you strip it all back and you go, you work for that. So whether it's small potatoes to someone else, it's a big deal to you because you work towards every bit of that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and winning that after London Carnival was Spain, Rotterdam Sunsplash,
Rototom.
2018. 2017, I go away. I get back from Carnival, and I'm thinking to myself, I get a call, and the call is like, "Oh, we're gonna need a band. What are you gonna do for Rotterdam?" Blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Okay, I need a band."
Yeah. New life. New life came to life. New life
New
band.
life came to life. So I consulted the one person who I know recorded me and had been recording me for some time, and that is Kingsley Semin. I went to Kingsley Semin in 2017 in like November, and I said, I got an opportunity to play at Rotterdam next year, August. I need a band. And long before this, I think maybe about a month before that, he was saying, I think we had seen one another at Maccabee. We were at Maccabee show in Tottenham, and we'd seen one another. We were like, and he was saying, hey, if you ever need a band, and I hadn't even had that conversation with Serlene yet about needing a band for. So he was saying, well, if you ever need a band, just contact me, blah, blah, blah. So November comes, speak to Kingsley by end of December, by end of December, he comes back to me and he's like, I've got a band. What's the meet date?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shoot.
I like how you move.
Yeah, like, oh, shoot.
Yes.
Okay. And not only that, I had the two singers that I took with me at the end of the final, to the final. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna need singers. I always felt like I was gonna need singers because I'm a background vocalist. How do I go this alone? Like I need to walk equipped. So from the year before, I'd already like consulted with them. I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. And they're like, yeah. So they come on board as well. And then the band. So I look around, there's 9 people in the room. I'm like, oh my God, everyone laughs at this. They still laugh at me to this day. Like, you cried. You cried that rehearsal. Like that first rehearsal with the band was like,
What you always wanted.
yeah, but I didn't think it would be that overwhelming. I didn't think it would feel that good. Again, always wondering if what it is you're doing is great, like, and I had no idea it'd feel that good. I felt like I had a brand new baby. I feel like I had a brand new baby, honestly.
Yes.
And it was overwhelming and it was emotional. And I probably spent half that rehearsal crying.
That just shows how grateful you are and humble. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's all coming to you, girl.
Oh my God. My nose was red. My nose was bright red the whole
It looks like it's
rehearsal.
red again. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old British cold, British cold, British cold.
British cold. It's cold over there. It's cold
Yeah,
over here too. Oh yeah, I
yeah, you
forgot.
know.
Cold.
You
Forgot.
don't forget it,
And
do you?
I gotta bigger up all my viewers. Remember, they're 5 hours ahead over there. So big you up. Love the professionalism. You stay up for the interview. Props to you, because
You know it.
I'm tired and it's early here.
You can't sleep yet, Tanya.
I know my age is catching up with me. I feel it. I'm like an old lady on Sunday night.
Toothpicks.
I know, eh? Oh, that's too funny. So here you go with the band, New Life Band. And then, of course, right after that, you form Bartley Field Records, which is Kingsley's.
Kingsley Salmon
That's
and
his
Sal
record label.
Davidson and Pat
And
Heron and me. Yeah.
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 So how does that feel now? That's a whole new venture too, along with the band.
You know, it's funny how things just sort of go ba-dum-dum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything just fall in place.
Yeah. So 2018, 2019, the New Life Band is playing shows. We just play shows. We're enjoying meeting one another and playing the music and beating the drums and everything. We just enjoyed one another's time. And then we got to the end of 2019 and we're like, oh shoot, what's going in the lineup for the following year? You know, what do we want to play? And it's like we actually hadn't had a product. Everything that was playing in the band was stuff that we hadn't made together. There were some things that we had worked out together, but the music had belonged to someone else. And yet, you know, Kingsley, not only a massive musician, but a, you know, great band leader and also producer, makes his own stuff, had been producing his own tracks, and actually started Barley Field maybe 3 years earlier. You know, I'd opened the label just to release the music that he was recording, not wanting to rely on other labels to do that. And everything just sort of he created this track that was supposed to go to really big artists that he never heard back from yeah. And so
he's
I'm
probably
not going
going,
to
I'm
mention
not
their names because
laughing. He's in the background not laughing.
Yeah, no, he's actually smiling really big because I'm laughing about it too. So like yeah, so I don't want to say the artist name because I don't want him to feel like
yeah. No, I get you.
but he made this track, and he was always like, well, I don't know what's going on with it, so what do you do with it? And I thought, all right, let me have it. And I had it, and we came back with something, and that was all she wrote. So everything has just been like pop, 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 pop. After that, next track. So yeah, and now here's the label and all these releases you see. This year has been just productive. So the You Can was the first track that he had given me. And he decided to release in January, and yeah.
Yeah, I put that You Can on my posts. People feeling that one. I didn't have that one till now, ma'am. Well, I'm glad I have it now. I can play it.
You can kick me when you see me, but because I know we get to do the Zoom thing.
I done already. I sent email and I said, put me on the email list now, so I'm not missing anything.
No,
you're going forward now. We already know how it is for the artists. You're being the artist. You're not being the promo person. It's all right. I forgive you.
But you know how that does work, don't you? You know how that works because people will bypass the label and they'll come to you like, yo, do you have this? And I'm like,
you haven't even heard it. You probably don't got it in your phone. People don't realize.
And if you do, you always have the jacked up cut, don't you? Not the jacked up cut. You got the pre-mix cut. You don't have what's supposed to be the latest. So
yeah.
I love y'all. I'm just saying.
I got a friend of mine, H.E.R, I've been supporting his music since day one, and he would always send me a thing. T, what do you think? And let me hear it. And his vocal is so good. I always have to question: is this finished? Is it mixed? Can I play it? No. It's just for you to. He goes, just for you to hear. And I go, stop sending me that because I'm going to end up putting it on air. Send me the finished one. But he goes, I just asking your opinion.
That's the thing. And to be fair, you know what? Big up Daddy English. I know he's sleeping, but if he watches his back, he'll know.
Yes.
You know, when we leave the studio and we had something back in the days when we'd leave the studio and we had something, I'd be like, because he DJs playing on the radio, you can't play that. Can I play it? You can't play that. So
Yes, I know, but I knew he was just wanting an opinion. It was kind of funny, but I'm just saying his vocals are fire that you wouldn't even. I'm an artist, and his is so laid, so good, you would not even know that it's
Yes.
not mastered, you know. And
Yeah,
I'm an
yeah.
artist, so that just gives him props to his craft.
Big up, Hezron, for real.
So you got You Can, big tune.
Mm.
Then this one, and it's funny. Like again, I told you, I just got introduced to the music now, not knowing it's out there. What This Is video is out now. Go check that out on YouTube, Raphaelia. What This Is. But when I saw that, girl, I didn't even see the video of the reggae version. What I saw first was the acoustic version, and that was on your IG, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That just grabbed me, not knowing there was two versions.
Thank
Girl,
you.
that
Thank
was
you very
crazy.
much.
Go on
Thank
her
you very
IG
much.
at Raphaelia and look for the acoustic What This Is, and on YouTube. Both of them you
Thank
can go
you.
watch.
Thank
But
you.
that
Yes.
one, girl, oh my gosh. I'm telling you, that's coming this Thursday on radio. That's all I know. I might be a little late, but that's okay. We're going to
I
get it
don't
out
care.
to all the other radios.
Well, I'd like to pat myself on the back quickly and say it can play anytime. That's the key to good music, isn't it? That is timeless. No matter when you come to it, it's from your plate. You'll hold on to it. So that's always the goal. Always the goal.
That was, I really like that one. I really, really, really like that one. And then you did another one, Black Man.
Yes. Oh, Black Man. So Black Man, I had originally recorded in 2016. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think. Kingsley worked on it. Kingsley recorded a lot of that mixed CD, like some of the tunes that I was working on. He recorded a lot of that, and there was another guy named Jordan at the time. And at the time, I had the boys. The boys were just sort of coming up, and they're coming into that point where they think they're going to be on the games all the time. I got 2 boys, by the way, and they're now 17 and 13, but 2016, I just saw them like they were sort of always on the game, not necessarily always on it, but like I was one of these people where, all right, come weekend, from the time I think they were about 5, sorry. But by about the time they were 7 and 3, I was taking them to Stingray, right? So that was the time when I decided, I just figured out like, babysitting one child is one thing, but babysitting 2 is different. And then you're going to record music, and people don't really believe you're going to record music. People think you're just out there gallivanting and foolishness. You know what I mean? Like they don't recognize you are really trying to be serious with the thing. So I started taking my kids along to the studio with me. So 2016, I'm like, I know you want your Saturday, you want to go out, but you come to the studio with me. Yes. Before that, the goal every time October came around, I used to tell them to, I would tell them to make a project. October is UK Black History Month. So I would tell them to make a project. Look up somebody that you really respect. Let's talk about him. And so that following year, I said, you know what? All right, we're gonna make a song. Like, let's do a song for Black History Month. So we did. Brought them into the studio, gave them all the parts and everything. I was like, this is what you're gonna do. They're like, huffing and puffing and stuff. I'm like,
I got 3 boys, I know.
See, I'm like, you can sing, you better get in there. So we did it. We wrote it together. It was like a family day out, but it was about the education of it all and something, creating something timeless. So I put it on a mixtape that year. And then this year it was just about making sure that I put it out. And
nice.
Black Man.
Yes.
Black Man.
Nice. Go check that one out, available. We got 4 minutes left in here, and we definitely, I know it flies when we're having fun, girl. Trust me. It's like 2 girls chatting up, Upcoming track, We Cry.
Oh, all right. So oh my gosh, how do I do this? Bim Sherman, who is the original singer of the track Slummy Ghetto. We thought of this track, Kingsley thought of this track and thought it needed to be done over, and not even done over, but we wanted to capture the essence of this track because it's an amazing track.
Yes.
And he did that. And he's released In the Ghetto on this rhythm, and mine is coming next. Mine is the next coming piece called We Cry. So
Nice.
yeah.
So you got to look out for that one.
Yes. Yes.
So we have, and again, that's Barleyfield Records.
Barleyfield Records.
Sorry, my fault. Sorry.
It's all right.
Again, big up Kingsley Salmon. Big up yourself. I love the works that's coming out. And I gotta just name before we get out of here quick some that I like, that I play since I met you.
Please.
And then you forgot about me, and now I'm gonna find you again. But that's all right. We won't get into that.
Never. Look, we still need our collaboration.
Yeah, Body's calling, girl. Have you ever? Never gonna give you up. Coming of the Father. Life's so serious.
Yes.
And of course, the bunny. Lai.
Why did you leave?
Yes, I always say his name wrong, and I apologize. I don't know why I do that.
It's all right.
Girl, I'm so glad. I'm so happy you came on the show, and it's been too long. Nice to finally meet you in person. We've known each other for so long, and finally here we got to meet each other. And you are truly blessed.
Likewise.
I wish you nothing but success, and you keep coming at them, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting me all these years. Thank you for playing the music. Thank you for making the link again. Looking out for our collaboration. So now that I got you on the WhatsApp, you can't run. Yeah.
You got me here, girl.
Hey, we get to do this again. I look forward to it. Really, really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching and listening and tuning in. Just thank you so much.
Yeah, and follow her again on all social media at Raphelia. Any shout outs quick?
Shout out to Barleyfield Records. Shout out to my family, my boys, Daddy English. Shout out to you, Preppy Records, Barleyfield Records, Mellow Vibes, Stingray, Junior Rodigan, Philip Gadd, Coral Reed. I could keep going, but my list long like you know what. But just big up to everybody. Big up Canada Sides. Big up Mommy and Daddy. Thank you so much. Rest in peace.
Yes.
That's it.
And again, Teresa, our producer.
And Teresa. Yes.
Last day today, girl. I'm going to miss you. Love you like a little daughter. And God bless you on your journey, girl. Thank you so much again, Raphelia, for being on this show. This show can also be heard on the Barn Burner Radio Network on its 122 platforms. The H.E.R Network is a part of the Barn Burner Network, Inc. Please check out barnburner.ca for all the news and programming. Barn Burner, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. It's the Tanya Mulling Show right here each and every Sunday, 8 to 9 p.m. Catch you same time, same place next week. Have a blessed evening. All take care.